Good morning. Good morning and welcome, everyone, to the 2017 commencement service. As you've probably been able to see, this is a little different here, thanks to the weather. Because of the difference in our setting today, we ask first that if you'd like to take a picture, we have this setup over here, this blue tent. We simply ask that you not stand up to prohibit people from seeing behind you. So thanks very much for doing that. So we're gathered here to see our seniors off, having completed their long journey. They've completed their long journey to graduating from Blair. So beginning this morning, allow me to open with a brief word of prayer. God of many names, we are thankful for this time, the opportunity to gather together and recognize the graduation of the class of 2017. They've done good work, and each have contributed to our community impressions both immense and nuanced, helping to shape Blair into the school it is today. As we prepare for them to receive their diplomas this morning, let us remember the great network of support that has seen these students through to this very moment. Parents, siblings, friends, teachers, administrators. It is this network, this community, that makes possible not just our time here together, but makes this ceremony the special, momentous one it is. Amen.
Good morning. Welcome, family, friends, faculty, staff, and the extraordinary class of 2017. Now, for all who kept saying to me, I hope we don't have another hot, humid, sweating in the sweltering sun kind of graduation like last year, let me just say, I heard you, and you're welcome. I'm delighted to welcome you all on this day that may be rainy and chilly, but for all of us here on this hilltop will be glorious. Our 169th commencement exercises at Blair Academy honoring the achievements of the class of 2017. Before we proceed, I address all who have worked and sacrificed and worried and rejoiced and drew upon a bottomless reservoir of love to help each of our graduates arrive at this day. Thank you. This day and the achievements of this class have truly been the work of a village that extends far beyond Blair's campus. I would like to take a moment to recognize those on this stage: Associate Head of School Ryan Pagato, Assistant Head and Dean of Faculty Lori Perry, Reverend Powell, and Dean of Academics Nathan Multeney. In our audience today, I welcome with appreciation members of the Board of Trustees of Blair Academy, including Hobie Van Duzen, David Harvey, Emmanuel Bello, Maria Sabatier, mom of Michael, who is graduating, Marianne Lieberman, mom to Meg Grant, who is graduating, Kurt Baker, dad to Natasha, who is graduating, and Neil and Rob Siggety. Neil and Rob, we don't have any Siggeties graduating this year? I think we'll double up next year, right? All right, sounds good. The accomplishments of the class of 2017 are many and impressive, and they have distinguished themselves not only by what they have done, but honestly, more importantly, by the exceptional, kind, and good young men and women that they have become. And in that regard, I can think of no two better representatives of this class to open today's ceremony than our welcome speakers and members of the Senior Class Council, Lucy Pennell and Jack Saxton.
I'd like to begin by both welcoming and thanking parents, friends, trustees, faculty, and of course my friends from the class of 2017. It is hard to come to terms with the fact that this is the last time every member of this class will be in the same place at the same time. We've spent a lot of time together. We've lived together, learned together, and grown together here at this place called Blair. I feel overwhelmed as if today needs to be the perfect culmination of our 4 years here. But it can never be. No one day can sum up the experience we have shared here. And that's okay. Now today may be a proud day. Our parents may be proud, our teachers may be proud. I admit that I myself will be proud once I'm holding my diploma, or at least relieved. But don't be proud of today. Be proud of what you've accomplished. Be proud of the relationships you've developed. Be proud of who you've become. Today is not what defines your Blair experience. You've already defined that during your time here. So relax. Say goodbye to your friends. Take some pictures. Eat some lunch. Clean your room and get out of here before you're technically trespassing. But remember, today is not about today. It is about our last 4 years and the rest of our life. So as you leave, take note and remember just how good Blair has been to us. But also remember, we have been very good to Blair, and we will continue to do good wherever we go from here. Thank you, welcome, and enjoy the day.
Good morning. It's funny to be up here speaking about Blair in the past tense when I can remember so clearly the day I got accepted. I was on vacation with my family, eating breakfast, talking about how any minute now they could call with my decision. At this point, when the phone still hadn't rung, I'd given up on the idea of boarding school altogether. Not that it was even my idea in the first place. See, my parents felt I'd be better off in a private school, and I was more than reluctant to that idea. My mom always said that I'd be grateful for it, though. That one day, I would thank her. And then I got that call. My mom scooted her seat away from the breakfast table and came over and squeezed me so tight as if she were already dropping me off at Lock Hall, saying her last goodbye. Now that I look back on that experience, I'm so grateful that they never gave up on trying to give me the best future I could have. I'm so proud to have attended this school because it, along with my parents, friends, and teachers, has given me everything that I have. I've sat in the bowl at midnight with my friends, crying about how close the end of the year is, even though now that we're actually in it, it doesn't seem like it's really here. I've met the funniest and kindest people and developed relationships here that all my friends back home think are weird because I babysit my teachers' kids, I text them at 9:30 at night asking to drive me and Lindsay to Dunkin' Donuts, and I sit in their apartments talking about my problems until it's 9:30, or I've missed the sign-in time by at least 45 minutes and Mr. Powell has no idea where I am. And these are things you just can't get anywhere else. Like during formal dinner sophomore year, I dropped a huge tray of plates, but I blamed it on Andrew Parsons, a senior. During Petty Day junior year, I meant to hug what I thought was an alumni, but really turned out to be their head soccer coach. Every time Lindsay asks me to go to the gym, I tell her I don't feel well so that I don't have to. Once when walking up from Gourmet, I found an iced chai sitting on the floor, and on my way to throw it out, Annika Haynes passed me and asked if she could have a sip of it, thinking it was mine. Without telling her that I'd found it on the side of the road, I let her drink the whole thing. And I'm so sorry, Annika. And finally, I'm terrified to leave Blair. There's always talk about the Blair bubble, but it's a real thing. We're in our own little world here, and I'm so scared that I won't have that anymore. I can't walk over to Lindsay's room when I'm feeling sad, and I can't text Mr. Wenner asking to make Chesney and me pancakes when we've had a rough day. I can't dance in the bowl with Caitlin listening to our favorite songs, and I can't spend Sunday afternoons at the Girl Scout property anymore. There are so many things that I can't do anymore, and I've grown so fond of this place and everything it has to offer, like the tricky heaters or the cold showers or sage dining. Will college have faulty heaters and messed up showers and weird food? I don't know, but I'm gonna miss the fact that behind all of it were my best friends to talk about it with. Blair has given me everything that I'm proud of, and I'm so proud of us. I mean, our class is awesome. Or at least it was until Thomas Jenkins decided to repeat a year, and now it's just okay. But still, as a school, we've had some really hard times. But behind everything that's ever happened, there's a family of 400 some odd people waiting to hold you, support you, and feel with you. As our time here ends, we'll always remain connected through the things that we've endured together. Mom and Dad, I don't say it often enough, but thank you so much. Thank you for driving an hour and a half to every volleyball game I've ever had, and for trusting me to make my own decisions, and for being the two most loving and accepting people I've ever met in my whole life. I'm so lucky to have you in my corner. Thank you to my friends who have made Blair bearable and taught me to laugh and cry through all the hard moments. Just because our time here is done doesn't mean that our friendships are, because you guys have made me so proud to know you, and I will never not be proud to know you. Thank you to the winners for sharing your beautiful family with me and treating me like I was really a part of it. It was and will always remain the most important part of my experience here. Thank you to Mr. Saylor for showing me that there are genuinely good people in this world, and to Senior Class Council for everything. I'm glad we got through it together. I wouldn't have wanted any other group of people to work with. And finally, thank you to the class of 2017. It's been a long road, but we finally made it. Congratulations, and welcome to the commencement of the class of 2017.
I too am really proud of the graduates, and I'm also really grateful for the chance to get to honor a few of our faculty today. So many of us are worthy of a special praise, and I have 2 awards to give now. The Apgar Award for Teaching Excellence was established with a gift from Sandy Apgar, Sandy Apgar IV of the class of '58. The Apgar Teaching Award recognizes and honors individual teachers who have had a demonstrable impact on their students through their ability to motivate their students' interest, curiosity, and love of learning their subject, their willingness to apply new teaching concepts and methods that expand student horizons and learning potential, and through their skill in serving as mentors to stimulate students' intellectual development beyond the confines of their curriculum and official responsibilities. For her investment and success in all of these areas, I'm pleased to honor Joyce Lang with the Apgar Award today. As a Spanish teacher, Joyce dedicates herself to service learning. She has chaperoned trips to Cuba and Costa Rica to provide students the chance to use their language skills to connect with the larger world. She's developed a tutoring opportunity where Blair students can go to nearby Newton to work with Hispanic children. For the Day of Service, Joyce's class translated a newsletter for a nonprofit that helps low-income families to become economically self-sufficient. While Joyce loves grammar and literature and ably teaches both, her passion is really in helping people. Joyce is one of the most collaborative colleagues on campus who is willing to help a teacher understand a topic or a new technology, and she's just as eager to learn about new initiatives that could make her an even more effective teacher in the classroom. Though she's been at Blair for 5 years and already had significant teaching experience before joining our faculty, she still approaches her craft with humility and curiosity of a new teacher. It's a wonderful quality of Joyce's that she's continuously open to growth. She's a fantastic exemplar for her students and for her entire community. I'm thrilled to honor Joyce Lang with the Apgar Award. The John C. and Eve S. Vogel Teaching Prize was named for the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. John C. Vogel of the class of '47, and his wife, Eve. It celebrates those career educators whose devotion to teaching inspires young people. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to recognize this trait in David Facciani. Joined the faculty 10 years ago and has worn many hats in his time here. He's housemastered in 3 dorms, you can't look, served as monitor for all international students, and has taught in multiple departments. Dave is indispensable in our community for his duty team, for his students, and for their parents alike. In boarding schools, we all serve in loco parentis, but for those international parents who are sending their sons and daughters to the United States to attend Blair, Dave inspires your faith in the rest of us on the faculty. In his classroom, Dave creates a positive and collegial atmosphere where students are excited to learn. Both Chinese and economics are challenging subjects to teach because they're so different from the other disciplines our students have studied before. Yet Dave reassures his classes that they can be successful, and he pushes them to embrace the challenge. This year called on Dave himself to embrace a new challenge. He fundamentally redesigned his class so that he could meet the needs of the 45 students who wanted to take economics this year. As a result, Dave has been teaching the most preps and the most students of anyone in the school. Quite simply, Dave loves to share what he knows with his students and generously gives his time, energy, and expertise to help them learn something new. Those are all signs of a committed Blair teacher, and they make David Facciani deserving of the John C. and Eve S. Vogel Teaching Prize.
I feel like Mr. Mantagna, we're all getting all emotional today. Congratulations, class. I'm sorry, this never happened. Maybe it's because a good friend of mine is about to get this award. The Reither family annually recognizes a faculty member who has made significant contributions to residential life in the role of housemaster or dormitory faculty member. As a boarding school, Blair believes that equal to classroom and extracurricular education is the learning that occurs in the halls and dormitories of the school. The men and women who live in our dormitories teach and model the importance of values, responsibility, and respect. Our recipient this year is not someone who is currently living or working in a dorm. However, she does manage the largest single group of students on campus. Lolo, prom queen, the queen of everything, or simply Mrs. Duvall. Mrs. Duvall works tirelessly with 100+ day students every year. She coordinates their lockers and day rooms throughout campus, helps manage their daily lives, and ensures they get as much out of their Blair experience as any boarder. In her limited free time, she tutors numerous students, helping them succeed academically at Blair. Her greatest on-campus accomplishment has been directing and guiding students on the right path by coining the phrase, "What would Lois do?" With the support of her husband Lou and 3 Blair graduate children, Lois has worked throughout her career to help endless numbers of students and faculty to have happy, healthy, and productive Blair careers. Her work never goes unnoticed, and she will forever be known for making a positive imprint on Blair Academy. It is with great honor and respect that I present the 2017 Reither Residential Life Award to Mrs. Lois Duvall.
The Lillian and Samuel Tedlow Prize is our school's longest-standing faculty award, which acknowledges loyalty and service to Blair. This year, it is my distinct pleasure to award the Tedlow Prize to a faculty member who has given tirelessly to Blair throughout his 18-year tenure, who has brought distinction, success, sincerity, and honor to not only Blair athletics as a masterful coach, but to this school and its legacy through tirelessly bridging our seniors to so many of the best colleges and universities in the world, and most importantly, the ones best for them. Joe Mantegna has built Blair into a national prep basketball powerhouse. His record since his arrival has been an astounding 324 wins, including 9 of the last 18 Mid-Atlantic Prep League titles, 13 trips to the NJ Prep A-State Finals, where Blair earned state titles in 2009, 11, and 14. I know that Joe does not measure his success by wins, or by Division I recruits, or by NBA players, or by checking off boxes on the number of admits to any particular prestigious college. He measures success by the demonstrations of character and loyalty and determination and brother and sisterhood that his work inspires. One need only watch him speaking proudly and lovingly and with refreshing authenticity of emotion when he talks about his team and his players, usually at award ceremonies. My very first occasion of witnessing this, I remember being so moved as I listened to his voice crack, watched his tears flow, his face grow redder as he fought through an outpouring of emotion in recognizing his team. I felt particularly grateful that I had experienced something pretty unique and special, watching a coach who lets himself from time to time express different emotions as he than the ones he normally expresses when he's pacing on the court side. So at least this time, demonstrating courageously for all, particularly for our boys, how men can show emotion. And I turned to Ryan Bagato, who looked remarkably unfazed, and I noted how amazing it was to see this, and he replied to me, yeah, he does that every year. But it is no less wonderful in my estimation. Joe's accomplishments are too many to mention, but they have most recently include serving as a defensive coordinator for the U.S. Select U18 team in the U18 World Championship at the Albert Schweitzer Games in Germany, teaming with Blair alum, Lual Dang, to run the basketball instruction at the Dang Top 50 camp in London, and the Lual Dang Invitational Camp for student athletes of South Sudanese descent here at Blair. He lectures at basketball camps and coaches clinics throughout the US, Canada, the UK, and Australia, while also hosting the annual College Coaches Roundtable on Blair's campus. As a coach, a Blair guy committed to the best of what we have to offer, and as a Blair dad, he's a man of passion and integrity, and for that, I'm delighted to present this year's Tedlow Prize to Joe Mantegna. Still me. All right. It is a long-standing tradition at Blair to recognize those seniors who will be serving our nation by attending one of our country's 5 service academies. I'd now like to take a moment to invite Brian Antonelli, class of '93, U.S. Naval Academy class of '97, and Assistant Director of Athletics, to present this year's appointments to the United States Naval Academy. Brian, may you join us on the stage, please? These appointments are first awarded to Caroline Elizabeth Pepard. And to Madison Jewel Peterson. Congratulations, and on behalf of Blair Academy, we thank you for your service to our country. So we move to student awards and begin with the Headmaster's Prize, which is awarded to the student in the senior class who has conspicuously displayed loyalty to the school, outstanding leadership, a fine influence in sportsmanship, and Blair's spirit in athletic competition. Our recipient has grown in his time at Blair, and grown, and grown, not just in stature, but as a student, a performer, a servant leader, and a kind-hearted, loyal friend to many. To watch him go from navigating the uncertain waters of freshman year to becoming the thoughtful, mature, helpful, and talented actor who elevates his fellow performers in every production he's been a part of, to being part of third soccer, a third soccer aficionado, as a player and eventually as an assistant, and the kind of prefect I want my children to be able to look up to in the years to come. There are boys on the flight deck who will remember his humor, his energy, and his kind way for their entire lifetimes. How delighted we have been to know a young man who combines a commanding presence, dedication to his studies and to his community, and a confident humility that made him in ways far more compelling than just his sheer height, a true giant. I'm very pleased to present this year's Headmaster's Prize to Liam Griffin Fennell.
Blair Academy Trophy is awarded in recognition of the member of the senior class with the highest all-around achievement. While our recipient is not driven by achievement, she has certainly accomplished a great deal during her 4 years at Blair. To begin, she has excelled academically while earning, in a manner of speaking, a total of 9 varsity letters. From her role as Ursula in Bye Bye Birdie her freshman year, to Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, to Beatrice in this spring's Much Ado About Nothing, and numerous other roles in between, the Blair Academy players have been her varsity team. She has also been a leader of a cappella, a 4-year member of the Blair Academy Singers, an integral member of our Healthy Relations Committee, a co-leader of Christian Fellowship, and a Lock Hall prefect where she has regularly put the interests of others ahead of her own, not only on her duty nights, but whenever one of her prefectees needed a shoulder to cry on, a sympathetic ear, or words of encouragement. Indeed, our recipient's achievements are many, but it is not achievements she was looking to record. Her aim, it seems, was to be friendly to everyone and to brighten our days with her boundless positivity. Her college counselor, Ms. Freitag, may have said it best when she wrote, "Emily is a cheerleader for life, and the people around her are better and happier because of her influence." When our faculty talk about the qualities we hope all of our graduates leave this school having developed, 2 that come to the forefront are a sense of optimism and a sense of gratitude. Our recipient possesses these qualities in abundance. We'll miss the soprano voice, and we'll miss the stage presence, and as we learned last night, we'll miss the conducting. But most of all, we'll miss the joy and the effervescence she brought to this community. It gives me great pleasure to present the Blair Academy Trophy to Emily Elizabeth Lundberg.
The George P. Jenkins 32 Prize for Outstanding Scholarship is awarded by the faculty each year, and the recipient serves as the class speaker. But what exactly does Outstanding Scholarship mean to this community? Given that today's recipient has been with us 4 years and taken, in that time, 26 courses, of which 16 have been at the honors or AP level, and received no year grades below a 5.5 certainly tells part of the story. She has already earned 7 6.0 year grades in her Blair courses, an incredible and unmatched feat in my time at this school. Yes, the mathematician in me wants the numbers to tell the whole story of Chelsea's outstanding scholarship, but there's a second, more important narrative. For those who have had the pleasure of teaching Chelsea during her time at Blair, myself included, it is clear that her scholarship extends beyond individual accomplishments. The respect she has earned from her teachers and classmates stems from a complete and thorough approach to learning. Chelsea's true strength lies in her ability to encounter a new idea and make it her own, to engage a process of learning that takes the most complex and unfamiliar ideas and brings those concepts to mastery in her own mind. Learning is always at the heart of what we do at Blair. Whether it is learning new ideas, learning about ourselves, learning about one another, we are most alive in this community when learning is at the forefront. So I encourage the class of 2017 to now listen closely to one of the most effective and engaged learners Blair has seen in some time, and find 1 or 2 new things to learn here at the end of your Blair careers. I am pleased to present to you the winner of the George P. Jenkins Class of 1932 Prize and the class speaker for the Class of 2017, Chelsea Hsu.
Good morning, faculty, staff, administrators, trustees. Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Fortunato, Maddie and Katie. Good morning, guests, family, friends, and good morning to my dear class of 2017. It is my honor to stand up here to speak to you on this special day. As your yearbook editor, I had the privilege of looking back to all of our freshman photos to create a throwback page. In creating this page, one of my favorite in the yearbook, the process of searching and scavenging through old photos was ever entertaining. Crowded group pictures from the first few weeks, with smiles decorated with our braces, messy morning hair after one-night camping at the freshman retreat, and colorful sleeping bags and pillows dotted our journey. The process was also shocking and touching, as the embarrassing yet cute photos brought back so many memories and prompt me to observe, witness, and reflect on the changes every individual in this class has gone through in the past 4 years. There were obvious physical changes. Larissa changed her hairstyle almost 5 times. Emila also cut her hair and became everyone's friend crush. Meanwhile, Kyle's hair grew longer and longer. However, the inward changes reveal more than the outward hairstyle changes. Our first performances on the stage, long chats with advisors, unexpectedly intriguing research projects, meditations during Vespers, countless athletic victories, the joy of earning friendships, and the loss of a dear member of our community. All of these moments that seem fleeting imperceptibly catalyze our inward changes, and we have changed. My first defining moment was just a song in my first play ever in my freshman year, an adventure that I will never regret. On the closing night, half an hour before the show, Marta, the student director, asked me to perform a rendition of The Eye of the Tiger. She thought my interpretation of the song's lyrics will add some humor and originality to the scene where 2 ambitious 5-year-olds run for class president. When the time came to sing, I blanked. However, without realizing it, I already had opened up my mouth, singing out of tune like a 5-year-old who indeed my character was. I was mortified by the sound of my out-of-tune singing echoing throughout the theater. But the moment I saw Mrs. Stone and Yichuan, who were sitting right in front of me in the audience, laugh, I smiled. Throughout our 4 years, we've all experienced moments of confusion and uncertainty. Yet, it is indeed with applause and smiles from our audience, faculties, advisors, friends, that we receive affirmation and continue on the path of exploring and changing. I cannot represent every single moment of change all of you have experienced in the past 4 years. However, I do hope there are a lot of examples coming to mind right now. As the moments replay in your heads, my classmates, ask yourselves, how often have you taken a pause to cherish these changes, to understand them, and to reflect on who you have become because of them? Every time when I return home to Shanghai, my parents will inevitably say, "You grew, a little bit taller, a little more mature. You're just no longer the little girl we sent away." I always roll my eyes. What are you talking about? I just came home 3 months ago. Nothing can change that much. You don't see it because you're too familiar with yourself, my mom said. In Chinese, there is a saying, 当局者迷，旁观者清. If one's personally involved in a matter, it is easy to be blinded. On the contrary, if one's not involved, it is possible to see it more clearly. Regarding an understanding of ourselves, we are usually blinded because, just like my mom said, we assume that we are most familiar with ourselves. However, we might not be. During my senior seminar dinner, Mrs. Fogato, my fabulous advisor, talked about what we should learn in our 20s. One piece of advice is, know what you need. I quieted down and started to search for that answer in my head. Friendship? Love? Food? Music? Surprisingly, I couldn't locate a definite answer, but I do know I have to take the time to think about it. Here, as we stand on the doorstep to our 20s, we often focus on the grand dreams, on the grand future, a focus which is not misplaced. However, we should not ignore reflections on the present, on the past, on the small changes, on the influence people around us have had on us, and most importantly, on ourselves. We always say time flies, but never take action to slow it down a bit and spare some time to just spend with ourselves. Everything happens at such a fast pace. Meanwhile, changes within ourselves in terms of our worldview, our self-understanding, occur so gradually that they escape our mind every day and every minute, losing its significance. Horoscope, BuzzFeed quizzes, MBTI and personality tests aren't the most reliable sources to describe who you are. You are. Slow down and figure out who you truly are, what you truly need, little by little, as we step into the next stage of our lives. As no one, neither parents nor advisors, will supervise us 24/7 anymore. We need to learn to keep an eye on our own changes, on our own growth, and our own needs. As our speaker, I was endowed the privilege of using this opportunity to take a pause and to reflect on the changes I have witnessed around me. Chinoso certainly has expanded his sphere of influence from the football field to the Armstrong stage with his phenomenal rapping skills and his emotional final football announcement. Thank you for showing me that others aren't one-dimensional. Lucy has certainly become Blair's celebrity singer as she found her sparkle on Headmaster's talent show. Thank you for letting me empathize with your music and for showing me what true talent is. Jane changed from an elegant dancer friend of mine to a fearless female wrestler. Thank you for showing me with determination one can defeat all kinds of stereotypes. Alyssa, a shy new sophomore, learned to shine and gain confidence on the pitcher's mound and on the stage as my drumming partner. Thank you for showing me responsibility and team spirit. There are so many others that have changed, and my list will go on forever. So, today, as we try to elongate our brief time left on Blair's campus, pause and think. Today should be the day to do some of the things that we always complain that we do have time to do. Before marking a period on this grand chapter of our lives, and before excitedly moving to the next stage, I invite my class of 2017 to take a pause before your departure and think back to your first day here and be ready to be awed by how much you have changed since then. I also invite faculty, staff, and friends to tell us how we have changed in our Blair careers, because maybe we haven't slowed ourselves down to recognize them yet. On our car rides out from Blairstown, say farewell to this campus, but don't say farewell to the change this campus has brought to you. Embrace the new journey and also embrace a new understanding of who you truly are. Because every bit of change is worth celebration, especially today. Once again, congratulations, class of 2017. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea, for your wonderful words. It is now my responsibility and privilege to begin the process of conferring diplomas on the class of 2017 with the power invested in me by the Blair Academy Board of Trustees.
Moyan Alua Adeniji. Delcy Albanese. Nashil D. Amin. Alyssa Brianna Arana. Caitlin Arapach. Abigail Catherine Arturi. Taylor Evan Attix. Ekram Malek Ayan. Natasha Grace Baker. Chloe Elise Beam. Luke Russell Belder. Catherine Quinn Berrytoon. Christopher Joseph Berrytoon. Chesney Lynn Bogue. Max Wolf Bonzelak. Winter Blaze Bregworth. Charlotte Austin Buck. Marta Patrice Bugan. Haley Catherine Callahan. Samuel Jake Chandler. Ellie Jingy Chi. Chinonso Chima Anyanka. Eugen Choi. Aaron W. Chow. Vishal Sunil Chugani. Hannah Victoria Ciansarelli. John Lewis Corio. Benjamin Paul Shaya. Elena Jade Daniels. Ian Matthew Day. Emily Grace Dehan. Caroline DeLauren. Anthony Gaetano DiMartino. Adam Michael Derricks. Christopher Campbell DePaolo. Andrea Rose Dorset. Griffin Daniel Fitzgerald. Jane Corin Fitzpatrick. Paige L. Flannery. Stephen Francis Frick. Kyle Blaze Gibson. Stephanie Marie Gibson. Megan Guan D. Lieberman Grant. Okay, John Michael Groves. Annika Domenica Haynes. Emila Hastings Gazo. Liam Griffin Fennel Haino. Noah Paul Helk. Rio J. Manu Hito Shapiro. Makai J. Holly. Yun Soo Jang. Sade S. Johnson. Zachary Wayne Morris Kent. Jane Kim. Minju Kim. Misa Kim. Rachel Kim. Lusik Kim. Abdul Karim Kuyate. Zachary James Lawless. Kurt Mateo Lenz. Genevieve Michelle Lewis. Sadie Alexis Lover. Arlen Lopez. Emily Elizabeth Lunger. Ishiao Liu. Antonino Carlo Mack. Stephen Walter Marcus. Eric Mark Meskin. Harrison Mitchell Moore. Alicia Hannah Mund. Justice Donald Nance. Jason P. Newman. Joy Soon-hee Nickel. Hannah Lang Octera. Samuel Marcus O'Razum. Juno Park. Minjun Park. Owen Goodwin Patterson. George Lewis Pector. Lucy A. Pennell. Caroline Elizabeth Papard. Madison Jewel Peterson. Rajanan Panmankulsuk. Michael Pressler. William Michael Rand. Bryn Paget Rhodes. Caitlin E. Robertson. John Charles Robinson. Faith Catherine Rohr. Eleanor Flagg Ryan. David Mikhail Ride. Michael Diego Sabatier. Xavier J. Sawyer. Jacob Newhart Saxton. Lillian Elizabeth Schernicker. Charles Francis Schurer. Mia Lauren Shaw. Samantha Judith Shaw. Chase Keith Singletary. Alexandra Anna Sipples. Aya Sobey. Charles William Stafford. Lindsay Anna Sophia Stahlkrantz. Jacob Sudel. Tice McGovern Sweeney. Napat Tanakalfan. Drawn Tawari. Lauren Chungning Tun. Matthew Jerome Turner. Melissa Reed Van Stadi. Kyle Patrick Walker. Fiona Julia Walsh. Harley Stevens Wedholm. Michael Francis Whalen. Inoa Shu.
and gentlemen, it is now my great pleasure to introduce to you the newly graduated class of 2017. So as I have the privilege of standing before you one last time together, our class of 2017, having begun our Blair journeys together 4 years ago, I look at each of you with gratitude, a tinge of sadness, but extraordinary optimism as I'm reminded of the words that resonate in my heart and my head at this moment, along with the rest of the faculty. How lucky are we to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Yes, it's a rather sentimental quote, but you've come to know me for such things. I think about those first moments I stood before you at class, at Convocation in 2013, as Raz queued up the song, Some Nights. And I imagine because I've asked it of you more than once, a few times since that speech, you'll recall the question I posed to you that day. So now, after 4 years of walking this path together, of learning, of changing, of sharing the best of times, and moments of great challenge, I ask of you today, in your time at Blair, what did you stand for? Why does he keep asking that question? I suppose I do so, and I've wanted you to keep that at the forefront of your minds now and for a long time to come, because it forms the foundation of an even more important question, perhaps the most important question. Long after you leave this hilltop as newly minted Blair alums, you will and should continue to ponder, who do you want to be? And who do you want to become? I want to contribute something in the future, helping others and being part of a community where everyone pulls together. Someday I would like to have dinner with Ellen DeGeneres. She seems like one of the most fun people in the world who never seems to judge people. She would have so many fascinating stories. It would be like having a dinner party with 100 interesting people. And oh, by the way, when we have dinner, we would order tacos because they're my favorite. Though I don't believe tacos were ever on the menu for formal dinner, Lucy Pennell, when you wrote this in your application 4 years ago, I'm not sure if you realize that with your sardonic wit, your warm heart, and your wonderful talent, you would actually become one of the most fun and engaging people to have dinner with, my tablefoot. Someone who helped others tell their fascinating stories, someone who would model what it means to be a strong woman to boys and girls and adults. You may not have your own talk show, or at least not yet, but make no mistake, you helped others and this community pull together in more ways than you know. Every year my mother asks me the same question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I always gave the same answer, a professional soccer player. When she asks me, what's your backup plan? My answer is, professional baseball player. When I met you in person, Adam Derricks, a number of months after you wrote that on your application, at first thinking, who left their 6th grade brother here? You were looking impossibly young to be a freshman at the time. I wondered where your time at Blair would take you, not just in soccer, but on many fronts. And you have not only excelled on the field, Adam, you've become a quiet, resilient, and honest leader, especially this year on the slopes and on this campus as we faced one of our darkest moments. And you are a true captain in every sense of the word. You wrote in your application, my greatest fear entering high school is that I will get lost in the crowd and never have a voice to stand out. Adam, my friend, I can say with complete confidence that in your words, your actions, and character, in your 4 years at Blair, you have soundly defeated that greatest fear. When I have something to do, I always complete it on time, including for my business. My customers can always count on me to get the job done. Well, very few 15-year-olds write about their customers on their applications, nor do they share their business cards with the admission office during the interview. But then again, there is only one Tice Sweeney. Or, projecting 20 years down the road, knowing what I know about you, perhaps I should in advance address you as President Sweeney. For Tice, I marvel at how through sheer force of will, you get things done that you set your mind to, and you get people behind you. You forged your own brand of leadership at Blair, Tice, and no matter your often relentless questioning and debate, or your richly incisive and wonderfully sarcastic sense of humor, you are an optimist and a builder of things. You remind me to believe in the power of creating something from nothing. Now, I wish I had time to speak about each of you as you've grown at Blair since you clicked the submit button on your application to this moment now, when your Blair student experience is coming to a close, because each of you has a story that is worth celebrating, and each of you has come so far, explored the things you stood for, and embraced your own definitions and standards of leadership. You may recall on occasion I've talked about leadership here. You know, leadership has never been about one person having all the answers, or imparting all the wisdom, or making all the decisions. It's always been about finding our way together, about standing for the things that matter to us, even when it's hard to do. And in so many ways, that's what you've all done. And yes, it can be taught. How do I know that to be true? Well, for one thing, over the last 4 years, you have shown me and taught me, your peers and this faculty, what it means to stand for something and for each other. I want you to know I'm so proud of you, not just because you've accomplished so much, and you have, or because you're great, you are, but most importantly, because you're good. Mrs. Fortunato and I have loved watching you grow at Blair over these 4 years. We appreciate the memories you forged with us, with Maddie and Katie, and the joy you've brought to our lives. We'll miss that more than I can express. Though neither you nor I nor this community are in any ways perfect and are unending works in progress, you must know that you are all becoming exactly what the world needs to make it a better place, no matter what you choose to do, and no matter what the world might throw your way. As you look ahead, my friends, with excitement and entirely normal anxieties about the unknowns that stand before you as you leave Blair, it can be easy to get overwhelmed by the unexpected, by both the wonderful range of awesome opportunities and options, but also the daunting challenges that don't and won't have easy answers. Life will often not go according to plan. But I want you to remember that is a good thing. It can feel unsettling and disappointing and maybe terrifying when the future unfolds in ways we did not envision or plan for, but those are the moments that can be exhilarating and eye-opening and life-changing in the best ways, and create moments and memories that you would never want to give up. Face those moments head on and embrace them. And in those moments of doubt, when life seems too complicated, or when you feel like you are forging your path all on your own, I want you to remember the following. First, look up more than you look down. Do not give in to the temptation to lose yourself in distraction, to negativity, to the impulse to stand in judgment, or fear the unknown. Look up as often as you have done here, and truly see the people before you, so you can know them, and in turn you can become known. How can one not wish to look up when doing so has allowed us over the last 4 years to appreciate the mastery of Chloe or Misa's artwork, to experience the joy and beauty of Emily's voice in times of celebration and sorrow, to watch Jane fearlessly challenge boys on the wrestling mat, to revel in what Charlie, Emila, Harry, Hannah, Juno, and others achieve every time they get on the stage, to experience Chase, Matt, Andrea, Will, Vishal, Ekram, Justice, and so many more of you set the bar so high for your teams and everyone else's team. To walk alongside Jason at Relay for Life, to be grateful for Lauren and all the other Lock Hall prefects who provide loving service, late-night conversations, and smile-inducing silliness that gives life and light to everyone in that dorm, especially when they needed it most. Yes, there are so many reasons for you to keep looking up. Second, there is every reason to stand firm to being a builder in life and not a cynic. Despite all that the world throws at us, how can we be cynics when we have such fundamentally good, caring, and talented people, gentle giants like Liam, who set the tone for the community in the dorm or on the stage and everywhere in between? How can we be anything but hopeful when Emily bravely gets on stage to share her story of fighting prejudice and then commands a global stage as an award-winning advocate for race relations? How can we not believe when we bear witness to not only Chelsea's astonishing academic record, but the intrinsic motivation that she has to learn and challenge herself? And how can we be cynics when we recall what it felt like when all of us stood, many of us holding on to each other on the turf in those final seconds of the football game for last year's Petty Day? Yes, we experienced what it felt like to lose, but more importantly, we felt like it was part of a brotherhood or sisterhood in this community, together in that one extraordinary moment. You are and remain and must remain builders of beautiful sets on a stage, of oracle caption contests, of resilient teams, of service projects, of friendships, and a society of skeptics, not cynics. Finally, I think most importantly, please continue to be kind. Yes, I know you're intelligent and you're creative, you're insightful, intuitive, passionate, talented, but most importantly, in this life, be kind to each other. Be kind even when others do not afford you that courtesy. You can set the standard and accept nothing less from others in that regard. The world needs you to carry the Blair bubble from this hilltop to the many places you're going to go. Because the Blair bubble, the one that actually really matters, is not the one you leave behind as you depart this campus. In fact, it's the one you take with you. Indeed, inside it is the best of what you've experienced and what you've all become. And it lives in the good work you'll do and in the people whose lives you'll enter. Spread that bubble beyond this campus and go out and make the world more like the best of what you've experienced here. And answer back to whatever comes your way that you are the best of Blair Academy and forever the keepers of its culture and its values, good and kind leaders in the truest sense of the word. Most of all, as I close, I want you to remember as you look up, as you build, as you act in defense of kindness in a world that is often not, don't ever forget you are loved. When it comes down to it, life is ultimately about love. It's the reason most of us do what we do, why we strive to be successful, to make a difference and do things that are important. It's why we push ourselves past our limits, take risks, and dare to share our stories. And you are indeed loved, more than you will ever know, by the people here today. Your parents, your relatives, friends, faculty, and your headmaster. Carry that with you in times of joy and hardship, and in turn, please share that love with others. And no matter how life rewards and tests you, and wherever it may take you, you need only look up, even as high as that Blair star I named for us. Look up and remember that we are forever connected as a family here. And with my best wishes, the love of all around you and a star to guide you by, know that I and this entire community, we will always stand behind you, we will always stand beside you, and we will always stand for you. Congratulations.
So on the precipice of transition, moving from one stage of life to the next, please allow me to close our time here with a final word of prayer. Will you join me? God of many names, we are grateful for this time together, a time wherein diplomas have been conferred and a talented, adept, and special class of students turn their gaze from one landscape of life to the next. During the days, weeks, and months ahead, we ask that these students trust in what they've learned in this place, from their teachers, mentors, friends, from each other, to help them find their footing in an uncertain but promising future. And in this time of great joy and accomplishment, we ask on behalf of the class of 2017 the audacity to aspire toward what we know these students can achieve, the lives we know they have the potential to fulfill. Amen. Amen.
I would now ask that Jeffrey Muller from the class of 67 and Ellie Chi from the class of 2017 join me for the presentation of the class of 2017 flag. We thank you all for being here today. Look forward to spending time with you at lunch in the field house. And once again, congratulations to our class of 2017.